Nagmo-move ba yung slide ko? Hindi. Move hindi.
Hindi po kita, ma'am.
Ha?
Hindi po, ma'am.
Hindi. Ba't kaya? Nagloko bigla yung internet. Ulitin na lang. Moving po. Hindi pa rin. Nagmo-move ba yung slide? Or nakikita nyo ba yung slide?
Nakikita po pero hindi
Hindi nagmo-move? Oh, what happened? Oh, wait lang ha, ayusin natin. Nagmo-move na?
Opo.
Okay, sige. Start na tayo. So this will be our first lecture and meeting for Dynamics 211. And again, meron kayong index card, no? So ipasa nyo sa Monday. So next Monday will be face-to-face. Okay. So DYNA211 or Engineering Mechanics is our course description. This will be dynamics of rigid bodies. So, halusot, because on the other dash, merong nangyari na naka-enroll sa dynamics pero hindi pa siya tapos ng statics. So, paki-check no, kung may mga ganong cases with you, please tell or go to our office and at least talk to Engineer Wesley, Ken, no, para maayos niya yung inyong mga courses na kailangan. So in Engineering Mechanics 211 or in Dynamics of Rigid Bodies, we will be discussing kinetics and kinematics of particle and also kinetics and kinematics of rigid bodies. We'll also deal with the work and energy method and impulse and momentum, and all the forces applied or exist in a body and its effect will be discussed in this course to give you, the students, the understanding of dynamics of rigid bodies. Okay, so the course outcome, so we are expecting you to be, no, or after our semester, that you will be able to perform problem-solving exercises with speed and accuracy and understand the different methods and techniques in problem-solving under dynamics of rigid bodies. And also, you will be able to execute advanced method in problem-solving and exhibit productive cooperation in the problem analysis and solution discovery. Okay, so that is our brief course introduction. Okay, moving forward, so look at our slide, no? Engineering mechanics is defined as the science which considers the effects of forces bodies which remains at rest. So, and while in dynamics, the bodies in motion naman tayo. So, dun sa inyong statics, inanalyze nyo ang mga particle or rigid bodies as if they are resting, no, or remains at rest. So in dynamics, the particles will be moving. Next slide. So this is just a quick review for what is a rigid body. Okay, defined as a definite amount of matter, the parts of which are fixed in a position relative to each other. What is a body? System of particles which form an object. And also a particle, object of point or a discrete mass of concentrated at a point but no size. Okay, so pag sinabing particle, minsan this is we're referring to a point, no? Discrete mass or a concentrated at a point but no size. Okay, so moving na tayo sa ating rigid body, dynamics of rigid bodies. So meron tayong dalawang branches ng rigid bodies. So the first is the kinematics, wherein we will study the geometry of motion or pure motion, and also the treatment of the relations between the displacement, velocity, and acceleration.
Ma'am, excuse me po, hindi po ata nagmo-move po yung PowerPoint. Thank you po.
Okay. So next is the kinetics. So kinetics relates the force acting on a body to its mass and acceleration. So kinematics and kinetics. So there are two types of motion, rectilinear and curvilinear. So from the term itself, rectilinear, so the object or the rigid body is moving along a straight line, while in curvilinear, moves along a curved path. So those are the two kinds of motion we will be studying in dynamics. Okay, so the first topic will be discussed is the rectilinear motion. So again, pag rectilinear motion, our rigid body or our particle is moving a straight line. So there are what we call the linear displacement. So displacement is the change of position from a reference point. So its unit is mass and speed. Okay. So anyway, pag sinabi nating displacement class, this is different from what we call the distance. So what is the difference between displacement and distance? Anyone? Sino ang gustong sumagot? Taas ang kamay. Sige, Kyle. Hindi ba nag-move? Kyle Vincent.
Yung ano, rinig po ba ako, ma'am?
Yes.
Yung distance po, ma'am, ano po? Yung actual path na tinake. Tapos yung displacement naman po, ano, ay straight line from point A to point B.
Okay. So, distance is a scalar while displacement is a vector quantity. Tama ba? Because distance is, our displacement has its direction. While sa distance, wala tayong direction. Nag-move ba? Nasa rectilinear motion lang yung slide ko. Nag-move yung slide?
Yes po.
Okay. Thank you. So, thank you, Kyle Vincent. Well, anyway, I'll be taking down next. So, linear speed and velocity. So, linear speed or velocity is the time rate of travel, which has a unit of meter per second or foot per second sa English. Meter per second pag metric or SI, and English naman foot per second or velocity is equals to delta S over delta T, where S is the displacement and T is our time. So pag nakakita kayo ng ganyan, no, yung triangle, no, delta T. Okay, so in average velocity, so respect to time. So those are the, yan pa lang yung mga unang formula you have to remember. Next, linear acceleration. So change of velocity during a time interval delta t. So this is average acceleration or AAV, no? So delta V is the change in velocity. So V2 minus V sub 1. And delta T again is the change or time interval. So this is T sub 2 minus T sub 1. And for instantaneous acceleration or the acceleration at a time where the time limit is 0, so dv over dt or the derivative of our velocity with respect to time. Okay. Next. So under rectilinear motion, the first is the kinematics of kinematics, no? So these are the formula you have to remember as we go along with the study of kinematics of linear or of rectilinear motion. The first is the uniform motion, wherein the acceleration is 0 and the velocity is constant. So there is no acceleration while the velocity is constant. Ibig sabihin, the velocity remains the same all throughout the movement. That's why walang acceleration kasi hindi siya bumilis, hindi rin siya bumagal. Uniform motion. A is 0 or acceleration is 0 and velocity is constant. For this category, the formula is S is equals velocity multiplied by the time. Or the displacement is equals to the velocity multiplied by the time. Okay? Uniform motion, tandaan nyo yan ha. Pag uniform motion, acceleration is 0, constant velocity. Displacement is equals to velocity multiplied the time. And yung kanyang unit, also this is metric, no, meter or foot or feet, yan ang kanyang units. So napaka-importante ng units sa engineering kasi kapag tama yung units nyo, kahit hindi nyo kabisado masyado yung formula, you can derive your own formula using the units you need, no? O yung hinahanap nyo. Next, uniform acceleration. So pag sinabing uniform acceleration, the body is accelerating positive. Pag ibig sabihin, bumibilis siya, positive yung kanyang acceleration. While negative naman, pag yung body is decelerating or bumabagal yung kanyang acceleration. Positive for accelerating bodies and negative for decelerating bodies. Next. So these are the formula. Final velocity is equals to the initial velocity plus minus acceleration multiplied by time. Acceleration lang to So BF or B sub F stands for final velocity. And V sub O or initial velocity. Okay. And ito yun. So, B final is equals to, or B final squared is equals to initial squared, V initial squared plus minus 2AS. And X naman, yung X dito, this is also S, no? If we're looking for the displacement or the horizontal displacement. So, X siya. Pero kung vertical displacement naman siya, this will be Y. But that is with respect to free falling bodies naman tayo, no? Kapag Y. Okay, so X is equals to initial velocity multiplied by time plus minus 1/2 AT square. Okay? VF plus X is equals to initial velocity multiplied by time plus minus 1/2 AT squared. And last is the unit variable acceleration, wherein A is constant. So constant or given yung kanyang, not given, but acceleration is constant. It is not, hindi siya bumibilis nor bumabagal, pero meron siyang acceleration. No, meron siyang acceleration na constant. So its formula is V or velocity ds over dt. Acceleration is dv over dt, and velocity dv is equals to ads. So iisa-isahin natin yan as we go along with our lecture proper. Okay, napicturean na ba? Pakipicturean niyo yung yung mga formula. So you can help me to solve yung problems later. And again, since I required you to have your notebook, I would like to see at least yung mga formula written on your notebook and also the problems that we solve during online classes. Okay? So mas maigi na nasa notebook ninyo yan. And checkan ko naman talaga yan. This is not a joke class, no? I already asked permission from our head sa school, sa engineering or Engineer Macariola. Sir, I required notebook. Okay, sabi. And I think most of your professors magre-require din ng notebook. So, masanay kayo kasi ang pagsosolve ng engineering problems, mas maganda talaga if you write it, no? Or you solve it by yourself para ma-practice kayo. Next. Okay, so we now move on to our sample problems. So Jack starts from his house and travels 12 meters towards east, then 5 meters towards north. Find the displacement. And also, dadagdag natin dyan, find the distance traveled. Okay. So, if this is Jack, si Jack daw to, mainit kaya nakasombrelo siya. And this is his house, no? Sabi, Jack travels from his house. So, siguro naglakad siya 12 kilometers. Siguro nasa probinsya to. Or pwede naman siyang nagra-ride ng bike. Kung ano man. So, he travels 12 meters toward east. So, pag sinabing east, saan papunta yon? Saan papunta ang east?
Right side.
Right side. So, papunta sa kanan niya. Okay. So, nag-travel daw siya ng 12 kilometers, 12 meters east. And then, pumunta siya 5 meters towards north. So, if we say that this house or his house is our point A or point 1, and 12 meters from his house or from point A, he traveled to point B. So, that is 12 meters. And then, 5 meters towards north. So, pag sinabing north is moving upward naman siya. No? So, this is point C or yung kanyang destination. So, andito na si Jack. Okay? So, what is the displacement and what is the distance traveled by Jack? Sino ang sasagot? Sino ang sasagot? Sige, taas kamay. Sino po? Yes, sino ba nagtaas? Rolando.
Ma'am, yung ano po, distance traveled po is 17. Then yung displacement po is 13.
Paano nakuha?
Ano lang po, Pythagorean.
Pythagorean for
Displacement po.
and
Add lang po sa distance traveled.
okay. Thank you, Rolando. Sige. Thank you, Rolando. Okay. So, A is the displacement. So, displacement, tama siya. So, Pythagorean theorem. Looking on our figure, so from point A to point C, sabi kanina ni Kyle, the straight line connecting from point or the starting point to the end point. So, this is yung kanyang straight line. Straight yan ah. So, this is the displacement S, no? So, this one or this figure formed a right triangle. That's why ginamit ni Rolando is the Pythagorean theorem. At least alam niyo na yung Pythagorean theorem, no? So, the displacement S is equals to A to B or ito pala 5 meters na, no? So, 12 meters squared plus 5 meter square. So, S is 13 meters. So, S or the displacement is, bakit nabubura? Okay. So, S is 13 meters. So, yung answer nyo, class, huwag nyong kakalimutan ulit, ha? So, medyo magiging mahigpit na tayo. Pakibox ang final answer. And for letter B naman, so this is the distance at the displacement. Distance. So, this is the total distance niya or is equals to A to B plus B to C. So, this is 12 meters plus 5 meters, which is equals to 17 meters. So, this is the distance. Maliwanag? Naintindihan yan? Clear na ba? O may tanong pa? Naintindihan po? Okay, so meron nakalimutan, no? Since yung displacement natin, class, no, at times kasi, tatanungin sa atin kung ano yung direction. So, kung ang displacement is a vector quantity, meron siyang direction. So, at times, baka mamaya hanapin sa inyong exam kung ano yung kanyang direction. So, this is S is equals to 13 meters northeast. So, pwede na yan ganyan. So, pwede na rin yan. Okay? Next. So, are we clear with problem number 1? Okay na sa problem number 1?
Yes po.
Thank you. Next. Ito na. So, a particle moves along a straight line such in a manner that its displacement at any instant from a fixed point on its path is given by the equation S is equals to 1/2 T3 squared plus 6T squared minus 4T. S is in meters. Determine the displacement, velocity, and acceleration will attain in 10 seconds. Okay, so given ang kanyang displacement, but it is on an equation, no? Nasa equation siya. So, ang hinahanap sa atin is the displacement, velocity, and acceleration in 10 seconds. Okay. Wait lang ah. Okay. Oops, litan ko na lang. Okay. Bakit nandun? Nag-move ba? Problem number 2 na ba? Sa screen nyo?
Nasa 3 po.
Nasa 3.
Admin po, ma'am.
Ang gulo talaga nito. Wait lang ulit. End ko ulit. Sorry, class. Ayaw niya pag window lang. Ano ba yun? Okay. So, number 2 na. Nakikita yung number 2 problem? Kita yung problem number 2? Hindi.
Kita po.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So, for letter A, ang hinahanap is the displacement, velocity, acceleration, and time. So, ano ba yung given natin? So, our given here is S. So, ibig sabihin, meron siyang given displacement. Pero, in terms of an equation. So, S daw is equals to 1/2 40. Okay. So, letter A is the displacement S in 10 seconds. Also, the velocity in 10 seconds. And its acceleration in 10 seconds, no? So, yan yung hinahanap sa atin. So, our time is 10 seconds. So, what? Okay. So, what are we going to do? So, this is S 1/12 T3 plus 6 T squared minus 4t. So, it substitute lang natin yung ating value for 10 seconds. So, ang ating S of 10 is 1 over 12, 10 cubed plus 6, 10 squared minus 4 multiplied by t or 10. So, at 10 seconds, the displacement is, anong sagot?
$85 po, ma'am.
80,
5.
85. 85 ba sagot yan?
130 po pala, ma'am.
130. Sino sumagot ng 130? So, 130 meter is our displacement at 10 seconds. Next. So, meron na tayong S10. So, velocity times 2. So, next na tayo. V or kung matatandaan nyo, our velocity is ds over dt. Tama ba? S over t or displacement over time. So, ds dt. So, therefore, this is 1 over 12. We derive itong ating yung ating equation, original equation. So, this is 3t squared plus 12t minus 4. So, our velocity at 10 is equals to 1 half 3, 10 squared plus 12, 10 minus 4. So, our velocity at 10 is equals to sige, solve. Ano ang ating velocity at 10 seconds?
$34.66.
34.66. Ba't nabubura na naman? 66 ba? 66. Ano ang unit? Ano ang unit ng velocity?
Meter per second po, ma'am.
Meter per second. So that is the velocity at 10 seconds. Okay, so next is our acceleration at 10 seconds naman daw. So our acceleration is dv over dt. Tama, mali? dv over dt. So therefore, as we derive this equation for our velocity, this is 112. This is 6t plus 12 is equal. Tama ba? Nawala na ba yung 4? So what is our acceleration at 10 seconds? So considering 10 yung ating time. So 10 plus 12. Acceleration at 10 seconds is
6, ma'am.
6 ano? 6 ano po? Ano pong unit ng acceleration? Meter per second squared. So, wag niyong kakalimutan again yung ating unit, okay? So, wag kakalimutan ang unit. Acceleration is meter per second square. So, those are the displacement, velocity, and acceleration at 10 seconds. Naintindihan niya na? Naintindihan po ba? May tanong po ba? So, tapos na tayo sa letter A. So, the next is, how far will the particle travel from 8 to 10 seconds? Okay. So, ano naman daw ang difference na or change in displacement at 10 and 8 seconds? Or from 8 to 10 seconds, ano yung kanyang displacement is? So, ang hinahanap is letter B. Wait lang wag mo nang sasagot. Letter B is the displacement from 8 to 10 seconds. Okay, so try nyo i-solve. Try solve and then raise your hand kung sino ang sasagot. Try to solve. Raise your hand kung sino sasagot. I think 67 to 34.67. Sige, try. Isip-isip. Using that equation or the original equation. What is the change or displacement from 8 seconds to 10 seconds? How far? Taas kamay. Rolando, paano mo nakuha yan?
Substitute lang po yung 8 seconds sa dun sa yung S is equal to 1/2.
So what is the value of S at 8 seconds?
Ano po? 72.
S at 8 is 72 meters. And yung ating S at 10 is, saan na ba? 130. So what you did is to minus 2.
Opo.
Okay. This is 58 meters. So ito yung sagot ni Rolando. Tama ba? Class, tama ba? Tama ba si Rolando? Yes po. Sure ka, Clint, dyan? Checker ka na pala ngayon? Naintindihan ba? Tama ba yung ginawa ni Rolando? Baka may dyan objection So, tama naman ang ginawa niya. No? So, hinahanap lang naman is yung distance na traveled ni particle. Wait lang. So, if this is ito yung straight line. So, from point 1 siguro. So, kunwari, car na lang, no? Para moving talaga. So, at 10 seconds daw, so at time t, yung kanyang distance traveled is already 130 meters. So, at time 8 or after 8 seconds, how far na travel niya na? So, as Rolando computed, sabi niya nga, this is 72 meters. Yung S at 8. And yung S at 10 is 130 meters. So, how far will the particle will travel from 8 to 10 seconds. So, that is just the difference between dun sa kanilang S from 8 to 10. So, this is 58 meters. Maliwanag? Tama si Rolando. Thank you, Rolando. Maliwanag? Naintindihan? Diba? Madali lang naman talaga ang rigid bodies ay dynamics. Pagagalawin mo lang yung mga object. Okay na. So, straight line, rectilinear motion is our particle or our body is moving along along a straight line lang yan. Okay. So, for that particular problem, this is variable acceleration. So, meron siyang definite acceleration. Yan yung formula na ginamit natin. Next. Oops, ba't wala? Okay, number 3 problem. An automobile accelerates at a rate of 15 meter per hour to 38 meter per hour in 15 seconds. While traveling in a straight line, what is the average acceleration in foot per second square? Sulat natin yung ating mga given. So, our velocity initial. So, ang kanyang first velocity is 15 meter per hour. And yung kanyang final velocity is 38 meters per hour, mph. So, that is between the time interval or delta t, 15 seconds. So, those are the given. So, time interval. So, what is the average acceleration? So, that is the required. So, ano yung required? So, ang ating formula for average acceleration is kanina, ano ba sabi sa ating kodigo kanina? Our average acceleration is ano daw ang formula for average acceleration? So, average acceleration is delta P or the rate of change of velocity over the rate of change in time. Sabi ko sa inyo, picturean nyo yung mga formula kanina. Okay. So, this is delta B or final velocity minus initial velocity. Wait, dito ko na lang sa gilid lalagay. B final minus B initial. And this is our delta T. So, ang hinahanap natin is average acceleration in foot per second square. So, this is on the English unit siya, no? English. Pero ang given natin is in terms of metric. So, we have to convert the units para mas mabilis nating masosolve yung ating problem. Okay. So, for average or delta V, we have VF minus VO. This is 38 mph or meter per hour minus 15 meter per hour, which is equals to meter ba to? mph pala. Mile pala to. Mile per hour to. Kulang na naman ako. Mile per hour. Mile per hour pala. So, mile per hour. mph pala. Sorry. Miles per hour. So, this 23 miles per hour, we have to convert this into foot per second square. So, 23 miles per hour is, ano? Okay, so 1 mile is equals to, any idea? Anong equivalent ng 1 mile into meters? So, this is 1,609.34 meter. But since foot yung hinahanap natin, so from meter or 1 meter is 3.28 feet. So, pag dyan sa atin, so miles canceled and meter will be canceled. So, feet na lang yung matitira. Pero, in terms of second square yung hinahanap. That's why we have to convert yung ating hour into seconds. So, 1 hour is 60 or 60 times or 3,600 seconds. Para matitira is foot per second na lang. So, foot per second. So, what is our initial velocity na? Or our delta V is $33.72 feet per second. 3,600 to. 1 hour is 36 seconds, di ba? So, ito yung ating delta V. So, i-substitute na lang natin yung ating nakuhang delta B. So, this is 33.725 foot per second over delta T, which is 15 seconds. So, therefore, itong seconds, dito sa itaas, bababa natin yan, no? So, magiging foot per second square yung ating unit. So, 33.725 over 15 is equals to 2. 248 meter or foot per second. So this is the average velocity, average acceleration ng ating problem. Okay. May tanong dyan? May tanong pa ba dyan? Naintindihan naman? Linear acceleration. So medyo review lang ng mga konting conversion. Well, anyway, sa scientific calculator nyo naman, okay lang naman ng 2. Okay lang ng 2 decimal places. Sa surveying lang naman ako nanghihingi ng maraming decimal kasi nga maliliit yung may mga errors. So dito okay lang kasi pag sa final answer lang tayo sa final answer tayo mag-convert or mag-decimal places ng dalawa. But again, dapat yung inyong final answer may unit and meron syempreng or naka-box, no, para mas maliwanag. Can we move on now sa ating next problem? Next na tayo Physics na physics lang naman ito eh. And maganda nga yan dahil meron, hindi, third year pala kayo mag-utilities. Parang continuation lang. Okay. Number 4. A car is starting from rest is accelerated to 1.0 meter per second for 4 seconds. It continues a constant velocity for 10 seconds more. How far the car traveled if it decelerates in 3 seconds until it stopped? Okay, pakinggan, basahin mabuti yung problem, no? So, gaano or how far the car travel if it decelerates in 3 seconds. So, ang hinahanap dyan is the total displacement or yung total na displacement traveled by the car. Sige, para mas maintindihan, so we can draw or illustrate yung ating problem. So, if this is, hindi talaga tayo magandang drawing. Sige, ito yung car. Straight line. Straight line yan walang aangal Sige. So, at point A, siya yung kanyang magiging starts. A car is starting from rest. So, pag sinabing rest, ang velocity niya ay 0. So, galing siya sa rest, ang velocity niya is 0. And it accelerates for 4 seconds. So, for 4 seconds, nagkaroon siya ng acceleration with a value of 1 meter per second square. So, it lasted up to B or point B. So, that time is 4 seconds. Note, time 4 seconds. So, ayan yung kanyang unang stop. And after that, or it continues at a constant velocity of 10 seconds more. So, velocity niya is constant, which is equivalent, or velocity niya is constant or remain unchanged for 10 seconds more. 10 seconds more. So that is our point C. And how far? And this one is our number 2, yung kanyang time interval. And for the last is, magi-stop siya at point D. So, ito yung hinahanap kung magkakaroon siya ng acceleration which is negative from here, no? Negative acceleration. So, it decelerates in 3 seconds. So, that is 3 seconds. For 3 seconds hanggang mag-stop siya. So, looking dyan sa figure natin, meron siyang tatlong kaganapan, no? So, from 0 to point A to point B, that is the first travel niya. So, at number 1, from A to B, velocity is 0 with a certain acceleration. This is a uniform acceleration. Tama ba? So, meron siyang acceleration na hindi nababago. So, meron siyang uniform acceleration. And from point B to point C, meron siyang constant velocity. So, pag sinabing constant yung velocity from B to C, this is constant yung velocity. Kanina, dun sa mga formula na binigay natin for rectilinear motions. So, pag constant ang velocity, therefore, this is a uniform motion. And lastly, as it decelerates for 3 seconds, yung kanyang third length or third span, from C to D, so meron siyang acceleration, but this time, this is a negative acceleration or deceleration naman siya. So, meron siyang acceleration, but it is a negative or deceleration. So, kung given si acceleration, this is also a uniform acceleration. Acceleration, ano ba yan? Tanga si ma'am. So, those are the 3 motions na ginawa ng car from A to B. And ang hinahanap dyan is the total displacement na trinavel ni car. So, therefore, from A to B, ano yung kanyang S1, S2, and S3. Ba't ba tabingi ako? S3. So, ang hinahanap natin is the total S, which is equals to S1 plus S2 plus S sub 3. Okay? So, using kanina sa mga formula na ginamit natin. So, patry nga kung paano nyo masosolve ang ating mga S, no? Each. Patabingi ako. Okay, sige. Solve na nga lang natin muna. Para huwag tayo tumagal. So, solution. So, at the first, or yung first motion niya is uniform acceleration, or for the first segment ng kanyang travel is a uniform acceleration. So, anong formula ng uniform acceleration? This is for the displacement kanina. So, A to B, or the displacement from A to B is equals to initial velocity multiplied by time plus minus 1/2 AT squared. So our initial velocity is, ano ang initial velocity natin, class? Ano ang initial velocity natin?
0 po.
Thank you. 0. 0 because this is a uniform acceleration. 0 and our time is, ano ang time?
4 po.
4. Plus 1/2 and given yung kanyang acceleration na 1 and t is 4 seconds. So what is our S sub 1? Eight meters. Okay, so ito yung ating S sub 1 for 8 meters. Okay, so analyzing our segment number 2 naman. So para makuha natin yung S sub 2. So again, this is a uniform motion. So constant yung ating velocity. But what is our velocity at 4 seconds? So what is our velocity at 4 seconds? So ano ba yung velocity natin for 4 seconds? Four? Paano nakuha, Rolando?
Yung sa number 1 formula po, yung velocity final is equal to initial velocity plus minus AT po.
Okay. So our B sub 4, so gamitin niyo pa rin yung ating uniform acceleration. Because from A to B, uniform yung kanyang acceleration. That's why yung ating velocity final here is equals to initial velocity plus AT. Or acceleration multiplied by the time. So therefore, this is 0 plus, ano yung acceleration niya? 1 meter per second squared and the time is 4 seconds. Kaya ang ating BF, is, or V final at 4 seconds, our velocity is 4 meter per second. So our B4 is 4 seconds. Okay. So segment dito na lang sa next slide. Dito na lang natin. Okay. So for uniform motion, ano ba yung ating uniform motion formula? S is equals to velocity times time. Tama ba? Velocity times time. So this is for S10. S10, ano ba? Ano ang sub natin? Ano yung S number? Ay, S10. S1, sorry. S number 2 na pala. S sub 2. S sub 2. So velocity multiplied by the time. So S or velocity is 4 meter per second. multiplied by the time interval. So, this is pupunta dito. So, this is 10 seconds yung kanyang interval. So, this is 40 meter. Cancel yung S. So, yung S sub 2 natin is 40 meters. And then next, for segment number 3 naman, this is again a uniform acceleration. But yung ating acceleration is a negative because this is decelerating. Or nag-stop siya. Okay? So again, we will use this formula as this is also a uniform acceleration. Ito yung ating gagamitin pa ring formula. But we have to first get our A. So ano ba yung ating acceleration? So another formula is BF is equals to initial velocity plus AT. So BF natin is ano ba yung final velocity natin at point D? Looking lang dyan sa ating
0 po.
0. I mean, ito 0, BF. And yung initial natin is, ano yung initial velocity natin dyan? Ano yung initial velocity natin? At point C, ito yung initial natin yan eh.
4 meters per second po.
4 meter per second and ba't ba nag-ano ka ma? Plus 80. So, this is decelerating, no? Plus, yung ating accelerator is negative, kaya ma-minus na lang natin siya. Minus. Minus acceleration and multiplied by anong time? 3. So, therefore, our acceleration is 1.33 meter per second. Okay? So, ayan yung kanyang acceleration. But, consider mo, negative yung ating acceleration. Kaya naging negative dito. Nag-decelerates kasi siya. So, dito natin ginamit yung negative. No? So, ang ating acceleration is 1.33 meter per second. Pero, this is a decelerating. No? Decelerating siya. Hanggang mag-stop. Siyempre, bumagal siya. No? Bumagal. Kaya, hanggang huminto. Okay. So, going back dun sa ating formula for our segment number 3, displacement, this is initial velocity t plus minus 1/2 at squared. So, our initial velocity here is yung ating velocity. Again, this is 4 meter per second, di ba? Dito. Multiplied by t. Time interval niya is 3 seconds. Plus minus 1/2 at. So, negative 1.33 meter per second kasi decelerating and time 3. Yes? Yes, Rolando.
Ma'am, di po ata gumagalaw, ma'am.
At kaya, nakita na yung slide? Okay, so ang kanyang S sub 3 is yung initial velocity niya at point C is 4 meter per second. And given dun sa ating figure or dun sa ating problem, yung kanyang time interval for our segment number 3 or C to D is 3 seconds. Plus minus 1 half. And then, acceleration natin is negative 1.33 meter per second squared. And time interval is 3 squared. So what is our S sub 3? Teka, baka ma-confuse kayo. Ayusin natin to. Ayaw mabura. I-rewrite ko lang Ito. So, S3 or for segment number 3, V initial plus minus 1 half AT squared. Okay. Pakinig ka, class So, ang initial velocity is 4 meter per second. Ayaw mabura And yung ating time interval is 3 seconds. So, plus minus. Since our car is decelerating, so we will use minus 1 half acceleration 1.33 meter per second square. So, baka malito kasi. And then, time is 3 squared. So, our S sub 3 is equals to, or segment number 3's displacement is 6.02 meters. Okay, thank you. Baka malito kasi sa input. Yung plus, pag pinapasok yung plus and minus na diretsyo. So that's our segment number 3. So therefore, ang ating total displacement traveled by the car from A to D, this is S sub 1 plus S sub 2 plus S sub 3 is equals to 8 plus 40 plus 6.02 is equals to 54.02 meters. So, the car traveled 54 meters, 0.02 or 54.02 meters until it stopped. So, yan yung traveled or kanyang displacement from point A to point B. So, that is our final answer. So, magkakaroon ng mga instances na yung ating particle or yung ating body, magkakaroon siya ng iba't ibang klase ng motion sa isang problem lang. So, this is in real life naman talaga, di ba? Pag nagpamaneho kayo ng kotse or kahit sabihin mo nakasakay lang kayo, di ba? So, nakahinto. So, walang movement, therefore walang velocity. Pero kapag nag-move na si driver or yung car, mag-move na into a span of time. So, kunwari nasa traffic, kaya yung ating acceleration is hindi magbabago. So, hindi mo kayang bumilis, pero constant lang yung iyong acceleration. So, magkakaroon ng mga ganong segments or magkakaroon ng mga interval na tinatawag. So, pag sa isang problem, minsan, hindi puro uniform acceleration. So, mas madalas halo-halo yung mga motion sa isang problem. So, kaya wag kayong maiinip na maggawa ng illustration para mas maintindihan nyo or mas ma-analyze nyo kung paano yung movement ng ating particle or ng ating body. Okay? Naintindihan niya na? Okay na tayo? Okay. Sige, hanggang 5 problems lang naman tayo. Baka sabihin niyo, ubusin ko na naman yung oras niyo eh. Next. So, number 5 problem. There are 2 cars traveling in the same speed at 70 km per hour on a level road. Car A decelerates at a rate of 2 meter per second. And car A is 100 meter ahead from A from instant up to time B overtake A. So how far does B travel? So ano daw yung traveled ni SB? So nakakalito yung problem. So meron daw dalawang car, so A and B. Puro naman kotse yung example ko. Ang pangit. So meron dalawang car, A and B. So car A is 1 meter ahead of B. So ito si B and this is si A. Ahead daw siya kay B. Kaya nauuna siya. So meron silang distance at 1 or meron na silang distance each other na 100 meter. But they are traveling at the same speed. So meron silang velocity na 70 kph or 70 kilometer per hour. So that is the velocity ni car A at B. So on a level road, car A decelerates at a rate of 2 meter per second. So si A daw nag-decelerates ng negative 2 meter per second square. So therefore, the possible thing that would happen is B will be mauuna siya, no? Or B can overtake A kasi si A is nagbagal, no? Siguro nagtetext, kaya nagbabagal siya. Kaya si B may possibility or meron siyang chance na ma-overtake si A. So, in that distance, si B, dahil bumagal nga si A, si B mauuna na sa kanya. So, ito na si B. So, si B, this is yung kanyang from dito, mapupunta na siya doon. So, that is the distance traveled by P. So, ayan yung hinahanap sa atin until it overtakes A. So, ano yung distance na traveled ni B papunta doon sa point hanggang ma-overtake niya si A? Kasi si A is nagbagal. So, hindi ko sinasabi na si A ay tumigil ha, nagbabagal lang siya. Therefore, si A is also moving. So, meron din siyang distance or displacement traveled. So, ano yung mga yan hinahanap sa atin? So, kung makakita nyo to, no, itong problem na to is sa stopping site distance na tinatawag, no? So, on surveying and also sa engineering highway, kino-compute din natin to. Yun yung tinatawag na overtake yung stopping site distance or the length that the other vehicle can overtake yung nasa unahang vehicle. Okay. So, we analyze each motion or each segments first para mas maintindihan natin. So, this is our segment A to So, our car B. Yung ating car B, so meron siyang S, ang hinahanap natin is SB or yung kanyang total distance traveled. Kung mapapansin nyo sa ating given, wala namang sinabi na si car B ay nagbilis or nag-accelerate. Sinabi dito at the first velocity or kanilang initial velocity, it remains constant, no? Or mean yung for considering car B, walang sinabi na nagbilis siya. So hindi siya nag-accelerate, therefore hindi nagbago yung kanyang velocity. So yung kanyang velocity is constant. So ang kanyang velocity is 70 kph or kilometer per hour all throughout the traveled, no? Dun sa kanyang pagbibiyahe. Hindi siya nagbago ng velocity. Therefore, yung kanyang velocity is constant or K, constant. This is a uniform motion. And for uniform motion, this is just simply the velocity multiplies the time. Tama ba? So, ibig sabihin, we can compute automatically yung kanyang distance as we substitute the values of velocity and time to our equation. So, S of B is equals to velocity of B multiplies the time traveled by B. So, SB or S sub B is, kanyang velocity is 70 kilometer per hour. So, kilometer per hour, so usually naman is meter per second ang ginagamit natin. So, we just have to convert 70 kilometer per hour to meter per second. So, 1 kilometer is ilang meters? 1,000 meters. And 1 hour is 36 seconds. So that is the velocity. And multiplied by the time sub B. Okay? So therefore, SB is, ano po? So wala pa tayong value ni T or ni time. So magiging variable natin siya. So what is SB in terms of T? 19 point, anong compute nyo? 19.44. So that is our equation number 1. Next, for number 2, as we analyze car A, dahil nandyan siya, so meron siyang acceleration or meron siyang uniform acceleration na negative 2 meter per second square. So uniform acceleration. Okay, so ano ang formula for our uniform acceleration? V initial multiplied by time plus minus 1/2 a t squared. Okay, so S sub A is, initial velocity is, ano yung kanyang initial velocity? So this is the same as ano natin, 'di ba? Velocity ni B. So 19.44. And yung kanyang T is time sub A plus 1/2 this is this is deceleration, so 2 meter per second and then T A squared. So therefore ang gagamitin na natin is minus, no? Minus. May nagtaas ba? Nag-move.
Ma'am, huminto po at
Ay. Okay. Okay. Nakita na? Number 5. Nasa ano na tayo Number 2, car A, uniform acceleration. So, ang kanyang formula is initial velocity multiplied by the time plus minus 1/2 AT squared. Okay. So, our initial velocity, so they have the same initial velocity or meron silang parehas na velocity ni B. Therefore, this is 19.44 meter per second. Then, multiplied by the time na traveled ni A and also plus minus. So, minus kasi deceleration tayo. Minus 1/2 multiplied by 2 yung ating acceleration multiplied by the time ang tawag dito? Multiplied by time A squared. Okay. So, simplifying our formula or our equation, this is sa S sub A is equals to 19.44 minus 1/2. 1/2. So, mawawala na to. Tama ba? So, therefore, this is 19.44 T sub A minus TA squared. So, that is our equation number 2. So, we have two equations, pero we have ilang unknowns? 1, 2, 3 unknowns. Pero kung mapapansin nyo, class, yung dalawang car, so the time traveled by our car A is also equals with the time traveled by our car B. 'Di ba? Wala namang sinabi na naunang umandar si A. So they are traveling on the same speed, pero mas nauna lang or mas nasa ahead lang si car A in terms of 100 meters, no? So this is time 0. Meron na silang distance nilang dalawa is 100 meters na because A is ahead of B 100 meters. So therefore, time A is equals to time B. So we can say this is our time. So our equation number 1, we can simplify this as 19.44 T and ito yung ating 1. And our equation number 2 is S sub A (19.44) T minus T squared. So, ito yung ating equation number 2. So, paano natin masosolve yung ating mga hinahanap? Sige, pag-isipan, paano natin masosolve yung ating mga hinahanap? What is the S1 and S? So, using dyan sa ating dalawang equation, paano natin makukuha si time and also SA and SB? Okay. So, equate natin si 1 and 2. So, 1 natin is SB 19.44 T. Okay. So, SB, looking dyan, this is 100 plus S sub A. Tama ba? So if our SB is 19.44 T plus is equal to 100 meter, yung distance nila, initial distance nila, SA is 19.44 T minus T squared. So we can solve for T. Ano yung T natin? So cancel, cancel. Therefore, this is 10 seconds. So our time or time traveled nila is 10 seconds. So as we now have our time T, we can now solve for S sub B. And this is 19.44 multiplied by 10. So SB is 194.44 meters. So this is our answer. So we can also compute for our S sub A na. So S sub A is 19.44 10 minus 10 squared. Dapat 94.44. Or 94.44. So 94.4 meter. S sub A. Okay? So, ang hinahanap is how far travel B. So, ito yung ating sagot. Yung bilang naman, answer, is 194.44 meter per second. Okay po? May tanong po ba dyan? Okay. So, kung wala nang tanong, you will be having your first assignment. Nasaan na assignment? Okay. So, ito yung ating assignment. Hanggang 3 lang. Okay. So, this will be due on Monday sa face-to-face meeting natin. So, again, pakisunod yung ating cover page and also yung sulat. No? Ayoko ng print out. Okay? So, yan yung assignment. Ipopost din naman natin yan ngayon. Ipopost ko rin ngayon and also with the discussion. So, end ko na yung slide ha. End ko na yung slide.